Don't forget about that notification, it's still down there. Thank you. Hello everyone and welcome! Those of you that read forums and Reddit throughout the past few weeks know that Riot is currently working on very interesting features. And today I want to talk about all of them. So let's start with solo queue. Finally, Riot decided to bring back the old solo queue. I am one of those people that never said a thing against dynamic queue, because in loads of regards it is way better than solo queue. No more trying to steal someone's role, no more dealing with people that left because they didn't get their main role, and the possibility to play with any number of players you want. Honestly, the only viable argument against dynamic queue was the fact that high elo players had horrible waiting times and horrible matchmaking simply because there aren't that many people in high elo. At least, that's what Skara said. Imagine being a chef that sells extremely expensive sushi. How often do you think you will find a match of people that are on the same wealth level and also like sushi? The higher you get, the longer the queues are. There is not much you can do about it. Outside of that, I honestly don't know why people don't like this system. Remember that dynamic queue was designed to match up mirror matches. There is very high chance that if you get into a pre-made team, the enemy will also have a pre-made team. In fact, this whole blame the system not my skill is invalid since everyone is using the same system. It doesn't matter what flaw you point out, because the other team is also dealing with it. Did you not get your primary role? What a shame the other mid laner did the same and now you are both supports. This leads me to the thing I actually wanted to talk about. Maybe I am alone in this, but there is a thing that dynamic queue eliminated that I kinda enjoyed. Believe it or not, but I enjoyed being forced into roles I can't play. For the majority of my league career, I was a mid laner, but I had no problem with filling the role since that was the way to truly test your skill as a League of Legends player. I am one of those guys that got into ranked and never left. Ever since I started playing ranked games, normals just meant nothing to me. And with the introduction of dynamic queue, I realized that all the skins I own are suddenly worthless. Since I always queued as mid or support Vel'Koz, I always got one of those roles as Vel'Koz. I never play as anything else. And that leads me to my final conclusion. Thank you Riot for keeping both dynamic queue and solo queue in your game. Now, there are two more features that Riot is working on. The one I think to be the most important is the replay system. I talked about the importance of replay system many times before, so I will jump straight into how this system works. Essentially, after each match you have the option to download the replay from the end screen. This allows you to keep your hard drive clean, unless you want those dirty Riven kills on it yourself. Next, you just launch the replay the same way you would spectate a game, and here you go. But amazingly enough, that's not it. Riot was so clever that they included a built-in recording functionality. This actually blew my mind. Not only do you not need OBS, Fraps or whatever you might need to record games, but on top of that, it saves it in a format that you can instantly upload to the internet. This solves so many problems for so many people. No more will we listen to people asking us how to record games or edit them because League of Legends will do everything for you. The only flaw this system has that, according to Riot, is unavoidable at the moment, is the fact that you can't watch replays from previous patches. This makes sense since you would have to download the whole previous version of League in order to watch it. So despite that, good job on this system. The last thing that Riot has announced is the practice tool. The concept of it is very simple. It is a sandbox mode but only for single player games. The features that we know about include infinite gold, resetting your cooldowns, locking your level, and freezing minion spawns. They said that the system is meant to be a practice tool for trying your skills and executing them properly, but if multiplayer is something the community wants, they will look into it. I have no problem with this at all, but I think it will be something not everyone is going to use, but I can already see people trying the Shurima shuffle. And I absolutely understand why multiplayer is locked at the moment, because spamming 18 Draven ults per second won't be too good for the servers. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the graphical side of League of Legends. I don't know if people noticed this, but the graphics and even the use of the engine that runs League of Legends has improved so much. It all struck me when Aurelion got released. If you look at his model, you can see that it is put together from two parts: his actual body and his astral tail that follows his movement. The first time Riot tried to implement movements outside of the actual model was in 2011 with the release of Nocturne. His tail was supposed to behave the same way Aurelion's does. But at the time Riot wasn't sure how to make the tail copy Nocturne's movement, since they had to glue it to his model. Now they figured out how to animate things without binding them to pre-rendered animations. I have no idea if anyone understands me, but I am really excited about this. Think about Vel'Koz and what he could have been. Right now, all of his tentacles are just glued to him without a trace of physics. More than that, think about Yasuo. If you manage to give certain parts of the champions proper physics, Yasuo's wings could actually flail them around. The immersion of the game would jump so high. And don't get me started on Heimerdinger's hair. Simply put, the technology is there. And I can't wait to see what Riot comes up with next. Do you remember when I talked about PvE scenarios for League? Well, now we have mechs versus minions. So I think all of my complaints are truly gone. They even started updating seasonal maps again. It is just weird that Riot always waits for too long before they announce all of those things. Maybe it is to heat everyone up before they drop some sweet bombs. Or maybe there is still the infamous communication issue. Either way, big props to Riot for their work. And with that, thank you so much for watching me talk about these things. If you liked it, you can always rate the video, comment below, or send me an actual letter, I don't really judge. Follow me on social media for more cat pictures, and as absolutely always, thank you come again. And because I said everything I wanted to say in that video, I have nothing to talk about now. Maybe I can push you into clicking on the link in front of you. So if you like candies, I have nothing for you, but if you like stories and lore, and you click on that link in front of you, then you'll be a happy man, or woman, or an animal, or whatever you might be. It is really late right now, so I may just go to bed. So good night, and see you in the next one.